to speed with what's happening in the Senate. Remember that the Jubilee Party is today set to finalize its push to change electoral laws, with the Senate set to pass the amendment bill. The changes passed through the National Assembly on Wednesday unopposed, and today the Senate is holding public hearings on the laws before they are passed in the plenary. The laws effect fundamental changes on the transmission of results, the powers of the chairman in his absence, and also the fate of an election when a candidate pulls out. Let's just cross over there and listen to what's happening, and then we come back to studio for the discussion.
Important office in this country, especially in terms of political party discipline and how we resolve our issues. What is your opinion? You do realize that the three members that are here are all members from just one side of the political divide. What are your comments about the same?
All right, so the pictures you're seeing on your screen really is what is happening. Remember, like I mentioned, the Senate is today having public hearings to just hear what Kenyans have to say really on the laws that got a clean bill of health from the National Assembly yesterday. All right, so let's just listen to a bit of what's happening and then we proceed.
Views on the same.
It is my position as the Office of Registrar of Political Parties that for Parliament to pass its laws, everybody should be included. But we cannot run away from the constitutional requirements that laws are passed by Parliament, and no other institution in Kenya can pass laws. So if Parliament has the power to pass laws, and in its wisdom, it realizes that it must pass certain laws to address extraordinary situation, then they have to go ahead and address them. Otherwise, we may have a problem if certain issues are not addressed. Further, the Supreme Court did make a ruling, and that ruling affected the processes of our elections, and certain issues needed clarification, and there is no other institution in our constitution which can make such laws. Thank you.
Senator Ndung'u. Thank you, Madam Chair. I would also want to appreciate Lucy, one for coming and giving your presentation and your views. And I'm happy that some of your concerns have been put into consideration by the committee, and the comment that you have given, we have taken note of that, and I'm sure we will be able to work together. As Registrar of Political Parties, I'm sure you can see what is happening in our nation. I mean, in terms of political temperatures, and when we were hearing, giving the public hearing, many people said that the temperatures are quite high politically, and because of that, many people who supported this, and they say, yes, we are in support of the bill, but we feel the timing is not right. So I would want to hear your views on that. I know you have touched on it a bit, but maybe in details in terms of timing, so that other Kenyans who are also listening can understand. Then the other thing is the demonstration and other political tension that is there. I don't know your views on what is happening in terms of what the NASA coalition is doing, because they have, number one, refused to join us in terms of doing anything. And then the other thing, the worst part of it is now they are leading the mass to demonstration, which is affecting people's life, people's businesses, interfering with the education of our young people, because they're also getting worried. And especially when now they hear that next week, the entire week, they'll be on the street demonstrating, and people are even fearing getting into town and doing their businesses, coming to their offices. What is your take on what is happening, and how do you think the tension, the demonstration, and what people are doing on the ground will affect the election on 26th? Thank you.
I know you are not a politician. Some of the question you are asked are supposed to be answered by politicians, but you can answer what you can, and the rest you can, yeah.
Chair, the first question on the timelines, insofar as this bill is concerned, we did hold a political party liaison committee where all political parties met at Radiant Towers, and together, without the Office of Registrar or IBC, they came up with a solution, which I think was presented before the committee then. And they did state clearly that the timing was not right. That is as far as I can state from political parties themselves. And as an office, I think I stated my position that there are extraordinary times and they call for extraordinary actions. And more so, if you must implement the ruling of the Supreme Court as was given. And if we do it the way we were doing it, it can bring issues in future. So my position as the registrar is that Parliament has the power to carry out its constitutional mandate all the time. Yeah, all the time. And this is not the first time we are passing laws close to an election. 2012, 2013, we did pass laws in December and election was held. Parliament itself also addressed itself in January and it passed laws also close to election. Even judiciary passed certain judgments which affected the process of elections, close to elections, and they had the mandate to do so. The same happens to affect Parliament. They must do what they have to do. And it is in your wisdom to pass the laws if you think they are prudent. On the issue of political temperatures, we have tried as political parties liaison committee to try to address the temperatures, but as you are aware, both Jubilee and NASA, they rarely attend those meetings called by political party liaison committee. They have not attended our meetings as we had envisaged, but we will continue. We will continue calling upon them to attend our meetings and dialogue as expected under the Section 38 of the Political Parties Act, whereby if there is an issue on election, IBC or RPP, political parties should come together in dialogue. They have not attended our meetings as we expected, but will continue doing so. In fact, as an office, we have organized caravan road shows to traverse Kenya in next week. We are not so sure how it will happen now that there are demonstrations every day, but political party liaison committee are doing all what they can to try and mitigate the political temperatures. However, we all know that elections are emotive and political temperatures must always go high during elections. It's up to us as Kenyans to try and cool the temperatures using all means possible. So it's normal when there's a contest that political temperatures should go high. On the issues of demonstration, I'll still stand by the Constitution and say that it is the right of every political party to carry out its political activities under the Constitution and do what it can to express its views. My only request is that political parties should follow the Constitution, the Political Parties Act, and adhere to the Code of Conduct, that there should be no violence, there should be no intimidation, and they should continue carrying out their political activities following the law and obey each and every institution's requests. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Registrar.
All right, so